What's up guys, my name is Ace, and Season 1 of Black Ops 6 is coming next week on November 14th, and today we got the full roadmap and blog post going over all of the content we can expect to see for Season 1. And there's a lot going on here, especially for Season 1. Typically Season 1's pretty laid back for Call of Duty, not this time around. So in today's video, we're going to be covering all of the important multiplayer details for Season 1. Now, if you are new to the channel, just keep in mind, I don't play Warzone, I don't cover Warzone. You won't see really anything Warzone related on this channel, so if you're here for Warzone information, you are in the wrong place, and it's a similar story with zombies. Sometimes I may make a mention of it, but I don't really play zombies much. This is almost purely a multiplayer channel. So with that in mind, let's dive into the multiplayer maps you can expect to see, and we did get a teaser for some of these a few days back. The first one is Hideout, and this is a core 6v6 map, so not face-off. And out of all of the maps for Season 1, this is the one that I'm looking forward to the most. I think I'm going to like this one more than any of the others. And Treyarch does describe this as a medium-sized map. To me, it looks like small to medium-sized, but still within the realm of medium. But with this, it doesn't appear that there are really clearly defined lanes on this map. There's a lot of openness between what you may call lanes on this. But at least for me, I like the aesthetics of this, and the cover placement seems decent as well. And this is why I think out of all of these maps, this is likely going to be my favorite for Season 1. As for the next one, we've got Extraction, and this one is also described as medium, and it does appear to be at least a little bit bigger than the previous one. And with this, it's a bit of an L-shaped map. We've got the big open area with the helipads, although there is an underground route that goes underneath the helipad. And then we also have that main hangar building, as well as like an air traffic control tower that you can get into that overlooks the big open area by the helipads. And overall, just based on what I've seen so far with these images, the overhead view, and that teaser from earlier in the week, I'm a bit skeptical about this map. I have a feeling I'm not going to be the biggest fan of this one, but I haven't actually played it yet. I'll keep an open mind, and I hope I'm wrong on that one. Now finally, for maps that we're getting right at launch for Season 1, we have a strike map called Heirloom, and this one takes place in a museum, and you can see it is quite small, and at least reasonably symmetrical. Then in season, so we're not getting this right at the launch of Season 1, but later in the season, we're getting Hacienda from Black Ops 4. Based on what we're seeing, it appears this will be a 1-to-1 remake, although the lighting is different. It looks like it's more midday, so it's not quite as orangey. But I'm definitely looking forward to this one. I liked Hacienda in that game, and I think it'll play well in this one as well. Then another map we're getting in season is called Racket, and this is a strike map, so a very small map, and it looks like it takes place down in like a bank vault or something. And then finally in season, we're going to be getting Nuketown Holiday, probably right around the Christmas season, maybe a little bit before the Christmas season. And that's not a huge surprise. This will be our first variant map in the game. Honestly, I'm hoping they don't go too overboard with variant maps, but I think for certain holidays, for instance, this is very appropriate, and I'm totally cool with seeing this. After that, let's talk game modes. And there's a brand new game mode coming with Season 1 called Ransack. And with this, there are going to be gold bars that you have to find around the map and loot. And then once you do loot those, you have to bring them back to your team's stash at your home base. Now the twist with this is you can also raid the enemy team's stash. You could push right up into their spawn, try to steal from their stash, and then bring it back to yours. So you do have to balance attacking versus defending versus looting. And I think it's a really interesting concept. I'm definitely looking forward to checking this one out. Another game mode coming in Season 1 that I think a lot of people will be happy to see. Prop Hunt is coming back. I know a lot of people love that as a party game mode. I think it's fun to dabble with from time to time, and it's great to see it return, especially so early in the game. After that, we're actually getting 2 new perks as well as a new wildcard added to the game for Season 1. And the first perk that we're getting right at launch for Season 1 next week is called Shadow. This will be in the second tier of perks, and it will be a green one, so it'll contribute towards Strategist. And with this one, you will be undetectable to enemy traps and mines. And that's quite interesting, seems quite powerful. Typically you'll have a perk like this that will like delay the trigger of those, but this one just ignores them entirely. Then for the other perk that's coming for Season 1, this one isn't coming at launch, it's coming mid-season. This one's called Shrapnel Radar, and this is going to be in the third tier of perks, and it's a blue perk, so it contributes to recon. And with this one, it's basically the recon perk from Modern Warfare 3. So if you deal blast damage to enemy players while using this perk, it will reveal them on your minimap. And this includes enemies affected by tacticals, lethals, and field upgrades. So you can throw a flashbang or a concussion out. If you get a hit on somebody, it will reveal them on a minimap. I'm guessing it'll be in real time with a directional arrow, just like we saw back in the original Modern Warfare 3. But time will tell on that one. Another question I have about this is whether or not it will work for your teammates' minimaps or just your own. Based on the wording, it seems like it will only work for you. But again, time will tell on this. I'm looking forward to getting my hands on it to test it and also to see if there's any counterplay to it. Now, as for the wildcard that's coming, this one is also coming mid-season, so not next week. This one's called High Roller, and with this one, it allows you to select a 4th score streak to earn. So I think that may be quite popular for many people out there. And speaking of score streaks, we're also getting a new score streak with Season 1, and this one is coming at launch next week. This is the hand cannon, which you guys might recognize from some previous Call of Duty games. With this, it's going to require 900 score to earn this, and it's going to be that one-shot kill hand cannon with limited ammunition, and you also have a limited time to use this, so you can't just hold it out forever. So there we go. Once again, it looks like this year we are going to be seeing post-launch score streaks, perks, equipment, and even wildcards added, and I think that's great. That can definitely add a whole lot of variety to the game as things move on. Now, let's talk a little bit about ranked play, and I'm not going to go into great detail with every little detail of this, because I feel like that could be a video on its own. But I wanted to just talk about some of the updates that are coming to ranked play, many of which seem very promising. Like the first one is for ranked play access. In order to even access ranked play, you have to get 50 wins in normal public matches. And this, I think, is going to be a nice measure to limit the amount of cheating you see in ranked play. I'm sure it'll still be there to some degree, but it's going to be a lot more difficult to just create a new account and start cheating with it immediately in ranked play. I know that has been a problem in some previous years. Next up, for your rank, now it's purely tied to your skill and your skill division, and they've removed the victory stars system that we saw in previous ranked play installments, so it's less about time played and more about skill, which is how it should be for ranked play. Then they're adding the ability to veto a map and mode combination. So the way they describe it is they will have 3 options presented to you, each with their own map and mode combination for ranked play, and each team has the ability to veto one of those choices. So it doesn't necessarily allow you to pick exactly the mode and map combination that you want to play, but it allows you to at least pick one that you don't want to play. So it gives you at least a bit of control over your experience, and I think that's a nice improvement as well. Then after that, finally, they're adding the ability to forfeit in ranked play. So if your team's getting absolutely blown out, or somebody on your team just leaves, which means you're almost definitely going to lose, you don't need to waste everybody's time by just hanging in there to the end of the match to avoid getting a matchmaking restriction penalty and additional SR loss. This is a much better option. Now, it is worth noting all of your teammates must vote for the forfeit to pass, and if you forfeit, it will just count as a standard loss, and you won't see additional SR penalties or suspensions. Now, it is worth noting you can't forfeit right at the beginning of the match. You have to wait until you reach a certain point in the match. So for hard points, the winning team has to have at least 100 points on the board. For control, you can't do it in the first round, and for search and destroy, you can't forfeit until after the 3rd round is played. After that, they updated the party skill restrictions, so now anybody can play with anybody. If you're a bronze player, you can play with a top 250 friend, but the key with this is instead of taking an average of your skill rating and matchmaking you based on that, it will be matchmaking you based on the highest skill player in the lobby. So if you are a bronze player playing with a top 250 player, you're going to be playing in top 250 lobbies. And then finally, for the really interesting updates, at least when it comes to ranked play, they updated their loss forgiveness. And this means for your first loss of the day, every single day when you play ranked play, you will see no deduction to your SR. So everybody gets 1 free loss per day. And then on top of that, you still get the 3 games of loss forgiveness after you've been promoted to a new rank. And I think this is great to just break some of that friction to maybe hopping on and playing rank play. It can be a little bit stressful at times if you're trying to maintain your rank. This at least gives you that 1 free loss per day. So there we go. Those are the main big updates that are coming to rank play this time around with Black Ops 6. And overall, I like what I'm seeing there. Now let's get into the new weapons that are coming for Season 1. And the first one we're going to be seeing in the Battle Pass is the Krieg C. And with this one, it's just described as a full auto assault rifle with high damage and average handling. And the recoil pattern starts off very controllable before ramping up. Then for the other Battle Pass gun we're getting right at launch, this is the SOG, which is an SMG of course, and with this one, it's fully automatic and it has excellent mobility and good handling with a great rate of fire, but high recoil. After that, mid-season, we're getting a new shotgun called the Maelstrom, and this one, interestingly, is earned via an event, rather than a new tier of Battle Pass like we saw last year for brand new weapons. And with this one, it's a full auto shotgun with a 10-round mag capacity. It says it has good range and handling, but high recoil and a large hip spread. Additionally, mid-season, again, as an event reward, we have a new sniper rifle coming, and this is the AMR Mod 4. And with this, it's a semi-auto sniper rifle that will one-shot to the torso, arms, hands, and upper legs even, so it's going to be the most powerful sniper rifle in the game. But it also mentions it has very high recoil and a slow rate of fire. And then finally, for ranged weapons, again, in season, as an event reward, we have the Siren 9mm, which is in the pistol category. And with this one, it's fully automatic with a 32-round mag by default. It offers SMG characteristics as a secondary weapon, but it does have a slow rate of fire. And that wraps it up for all of the ranged weapons we're seeing throughout Season 1, and there's 5 in there, which is an excellent amount throughout a season. I'm quite happy to see that. On top of that, though, we do have a couple melee weapons that are coming, and the first one is the Power Drill. And with this, it will also be earned in season as an event reward, and it's going to be a 2-hit kill with a very short range, but a very fast attack speed. And then the other melee weapon, which is also coming in season as an event reward, we have the Cleaver. And this one will be a 1-hit kill with short medium range as well as medium attack speed. So there we go, those are all of the new base weapons we're going to be seeing throughout Season 1. And like I said, I find it quite interesting that many of them are going to be earned through an event award. So it seems they're really going to be pushing events pretty hard, and you're definitely going to want to be participating in those events to get these base weapons. On top of that though, we are going to be seeing new attachments added to the game as well, and the first one here that's going to be earned in the Battle Pass, so it's available at launch for the season, this is Dragon's Breath, which will be available on shotguns. Then, mid-season, again, as an event reward, we're getting the Buffer Weight Stock, which will be available on the XM4, the XMG, and the DM10. And essentially, this is going to be improving your recoil through sustained fire at the expense of aim down sight speed and aim walking movement speed. Then after that, as another mid-season event reward, the XM4 is going to be getting a burst fire conversion kit that will just convert it to a 3-round burst. So it appears individual weapon mods are coming back this time around as well. Not quite as frequently as we saw the aftermarket parts last year with Modern Warfare 3, but there will be conversions coming, including another burst fire conversion that's coming as a mid-season event reward, and this one is for the Compact 92, and this will once again turn this into a 3-round burst. Now, with all of these new playable items that they're adding to the game as event rewards, you might be wondering what happens if you miss that event, if you don't get to play during that time, or you come to the game late after several events have taken place. Is there going to be a method to unlock all of these? And yes, they are actually bringing back the Armory system that we did see in Modern Warfare 3, but this time it appears it's really going to be focused on post-launch content. So if you ever do miss some weapons in a battle pass or throughout an event, it appears through this Armory system, they will be providing a path to unlock those by simply selecting the item you want and then earning a certain amount of XP instead of daily challenges and wins like we saw with Modern Warfare 3. And I think that's excellent that they're covering those bases. And I actually really like the Armory credit system in Modern Warfare 3 for the post-launch content specifically. I didn't like it so much for all of the launch content, but for post-launch, I thought it was great. Now finally, they do talk a little bit more about the events that are going to be taking place, and they tease the first event that we'll be seeing, which is called Hit List. And they mentioned this one will be coming before the mid-season update. And after the Season 1 Reloaded update, there's going to be multiple other events to look forward to, including one that's focused on zombies. And there we go. That pretty much covers it for all of the important items that we learned today when it comes to Season 1. And with that, this is where I'm curious to hear from you guys in those comments down below. At least when it comes to multiplayer, how are you feeling about Season 1 so far based on what we're seeing for Black Ops 6? Are you guys generally happy with the amount of content we're seeing here? What about the quality of content? Do you guys think this content looks good or maybe not? Just let me know all of those thoughts down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.